So the next algorithm that we need to see is shortest job first scheduling algorithm. Well, it can be implemented in preemptive and non-preemptive mode. That is basically, it can, both the modes are available. So the preemptive SJF is also known as basically shortest remaining time algorithm. Okay, and non-preemptive algorithm is called as the shortest job first algorithm. Now about this algorithm, we are supposed to pick the process with minimum burst time first. So we will be going in ascending order of the burst time, means the minimum burst time process will be selected first, and we'll go in the increasing order to the maximum burst time. So let's see how are we supposed to implement this with an example. So here is the question that we have at this moment. So in this we have four processes. P1, P2, P3 and P4, and their respective burst times are mentioned. We are going to assume that all have arrived at time 0. So as we know, we have to pick up the one process which has the minimum burst time. So very quickly, let's begin with our execution part. Let's begin with the preparation of Gantt chart. The CPU execution always begins from time 0. So we are going to begin from time 0. And as they have told us, it's not first come serves first serve, it's shortest job first. So we have to pick up a process. With the shortest job. So we have to consider the burst time. So if we notice that 3 is the shortest job, 3 is the shortest burst time. So first we need to pick up our P4 for execution. So let's give P4 the CPU. It will execute for 3 units because the burst time is 3. So it will execute for 3 units, 0, 1, 2 and 3. So the execution over here of P4 will continue till 3 units. That is the as mentioned in its burst time. So with this the execution of P4 is over and P4 is out of list. Now we have 3 remaining processes, P1, P2, P3. Now among these 3 processes, again we have to choose a process which has the shortest job, that is the shortest burst time, and in that case we have this process called as 6, which has the shortest job. So this will be the second one that we are going to pick up. So let's pick up P1 and give it to the CPU. So it has 6 to run. So here we go. P1 will stay inside the CPU and execute himself till 6. So 3 plus 6 is nothing but 9. With this, once it reaches 9, 6 units are completed, 6 time units are completed. So the execution of P1 is completed. Now we have P2 and P3 remaining. Let's see whose job is shortest. If we notice, 7 is the shortest one. So we'll be giving CPU to P3. So this will be the third process to pick up. So we have to run 7 units. So here we go. We'll be running 7 units. So P3 will be executing for 7 more units. So 9 plus 7 is nothing but 16. So it will be running till time 16, and after this the execution of P3 will be over and done. And after that we will be giving the CPU to the last and final process. There's only P2, there is no other process to compare with. So we'll be giving the CPU to P2. Let's take it into the CPU. So P2 will be right here, and it is supposed to execute for the next 8 units. So it will execute for the next 8 units. That will make us reach till 24. With this, the execution of all 4 processes is over. Now the next task that we have is to find the turnaround time and the waiting time. So first goes for turnaround time. We know turnaround time is nothing but completion time minus arrival time. So for P1, P2, P3, P4, we need to find the values. So here we go. What's the completion time of P1? Where did P1 start? P1 started over here. It completed right here. P1 और कहीं पे है? नहीं है, सिर्फ यहीं पे है. So it completed at P1. P1 completed at 9. So 9 minus arrival time, that is nothing but 0. Then we consider P2. P2 completed at 24. So 24 minus 0. P3 completed at 16. So 16 minus 0. P4 completed at 3. So 3 minus 0, which is nothing but, let's write it down. Then the next is average turnaround time, which is nothing but 9 plus 24 plus 16 plus 3 divided by 4, which gets us to 13 as the answer. The next is finding the average waiting time. Is next we need to find out the average waiting time. So waiting time is turnaround time minus the burst time. So P1, P2, P3, P4. So what's the turnaround time of P1? It's 9 minus the burst time, which is nothing but 6. P2's turnaround time is 24 minus the burst time, which is nothing but 8. P3's turnaround time is 16 minus the burst time, that is 7. Then P4, 3 minus 3. So here we go. Let's write it down. Our answers: 16, 9 and 0. Time to find the average. So which is nothing but 3 plus 16 plus 9 plus 0 divided by 4, which is 7. So 7 units is the average waiting time. 7 units of time units is the average waiting time. That's it.